Hi folks, and welcome back to another fly tying video. What you see in the vise is a booby blob, but it's no ordinary booby blob. So without further ado, let's get into it. The hook in the vise then is a Hanak H20M. This is a barbed hook and it's in size 8. Now for those competition anglers out there, be assured that the size 8 does fit within the gauge, and it's akin to the old Kamazan B160 in old money. The thread I'm going to be using today is a nano silk. It's from Simplify. It's at 12 aught or 50D, and as you can see, it's a white silk. So before I start casting thread on, as always with the nano silks, which give you lots of advantages, but they are very slippy threads, and wax just won't adhere the silk to the hook. So just spread that little slither of super glue up the shank of the hook, and then you can get a bed of silk down. And I want to come to where the barb is on the hook. Then I can come on with my snips and remove my waste. Now I'm a great collector of fritz over the years, and you know, once you've seen one fritz, you've seen them all. I don't think that's quite the case, but there's lots of different stuff out here. Now I was sent this from Uphaven Fly Fishing, and they call this pure blob fritz, and it doesn't feel like your normal blob fritz. And basically what happens with fritz, it comes undyed. I'm just going to remove some of this from the core, and then the retailer or the production guy dyes it to whichever colour they want. Now this is called pure blob fritz, and what they do is this is the actual colour of the material, and it doesn't feel like fritz. It's more like a really silky cotton feel to it. So it's going to give you a different movement in the water. I haven't tried this fly, but I am going to Draycott soon, so I'll let you all know how that works out, and it'll get a swim there. So I've caught the fritz in by the tag at the tail there, and all I'm going to do is bring it up, and each time I bring it up I'm just trying to encourage the fibres to go back. Now I'm going to make this a split coloured one, and I want to make a few of these, so I'm going to count my turns. This is the 4th turn. I'll get one more turn. Then when I come over this time, I'm going to work my way through the hoard of fibres that I've gathered there and trap it into place. Just takes a couple of turns. Then bring all your material back with your thumb and forefinger and just get that out of the way. A couple of turns in front, and that'll ensure the thread doesn't back up on you and cause you hassle later. So that's in the way. It's out the way, should I say. And I've just slicked everything back. I'm going to get 2 or 3 turns just to ensure I've got that part finished off. Next then, I'm going to come in with the same kind of material, it's just a different colour. This is the 15mm Flow Orange, and I've got a little bit off here in my hands, and I'm just going to take again a few of the fibres just to expose that white core, and I want to catch that in just where I finished off. And once I've got a hold of the white core, I can come all the way back to where the pink finished. Now I'm not going to get as many turns of the orange in, and that's okay, but same way. So each time I turn, I'm going to sweep the material back, and I want probably maybe get 3 turns out of this before I want to finish it off. And the reason I want to finish it off is I'm making a booby fly, and boobies have they've not gone out of fashion. You know, they'll never go out of fashion because they catch an awful lot of fish, but when it comes to fritz and the washing line technique, the the preference seems to be nowadays, and I may be wrong here, let me know in the comment section if you don't believe it's right, that a lot of people prefer to use a fab, which incorporates the foam in the butt end of the fly where it can't be seen, and what you've got is more akin to a blob with a foam backside. Very effective fly, very popular on the competition scene. But I still like to have a few of these types of flies in my box, and the reason for that I'll come on to in a second. Now, I'm using a wire brush here. You get these from pound shops or ironmongers, and basically it's a wire brush, and I want to just brush out that fritz. And what this does is separate all the fibres, and it makes the fly look nice and neat. But not only that, when it's in the water, because I've taken the time to separate the fibres, it'll just move much more efficiently in the water. Okay, that's looking not bad. Now, I've got my little tic tac that I prepared earlier, and if you're unsure how I get to this stage, I'll stick a little video link up in the corner, top right hand corner of your screen, showing you how I get my booby eyes to this point. Worth having a look at if you've never tied a booby fly before. So basically what I'm going to do is, where I've got a little hole in it, the middle there, I'm using that as my guide, and I want to get a couple of turns just to hold the eye in place. Try and get them nice and even, slick everything back. I'll come to the eye and just work that thread all the way to the rear of the fly. Excuse my fingers. And then once you've got it on top of the shank, depending on the size of the booby, I like to put 5 or 6 turns in to hold that into place. Same with the other eye. You can't see from my fingers, but I'm just getting a figure of 8 motion in place, and then I'm going to come round the front, a couple of turns, then I can come in with my whip finish tool, slick everything back, and whip finish. Now, the reason I was using white thread rather than black for this is, when this is all wet, it does bleed through to the colour of thread you've used, and I didn't want black, I want it nice and light, and that's why I've used the white thread. Now, to finish the fly off, you can use super glue. I'm going to use UV resin. I'm using some of the Solaris Bone Dry because it's got this neat little brush here, and what that allows me to do is just get into places that with a super glue nozzle I might end up catching a lot of the fibres, and I don't want to do that. I don't want the fibres all glued together. I want this to pulse in the water and get as much movement out of it. Now, I was going to tell you why I prefer to have a booby blob, on some occasions I might add, and the reason for that is, when I cast out the fly on a team, if I've got it on the top dropper, the booby eyes will create a disturbance in the surface, much more so than a fab, and this can bring fish onto your cast. Very often they will take the fly making the disturbance, but more often than not they'll come in behind and they will take the nymphs or the cormorants, whatever you happen to be fishing, in behind. You can also use it on the point as a washing line support. It works very well. Again, you'll get movement from the booby eyes when you start your retrieve, and hopefully you'll catch a few fish. I'll be giving this a swim at Draycott next week. As you're watching this video, that'll be well done. So in the description, I'll tell you whether it's been a winner or a loser. Thanks for watching, and as always, don't forget to give the video a like, and I'll see you all next time.